Assalamualaikum. Hello, everybody. This is Hasnan from Kuala Lumpur. How are you doing? Just thought of doing a quick podcast. See how is everybody, what's going on. So it's Friday night, I would say, and our weekend starts. So those who are watching from different platforms, just to let you know that I'm using Happs.tv. Feel free to give comments in the chat. Yeah, and yeah, it's for last 2 days. There's no rain in Kuala Lumpur, so weather is a bit hot. Just would like to share my slides. Last time I did a workshop on scenario-based learning, sharing the link in the chat. Just waiting the thing to appear, but it seems. Let's try that. Okay. So I've shared my blog post way back. I did actually talk on scenario-based learning. So the link is shared there in the chat. I actually use Articulate Storyline. Articulate is e-learning authoring tool. So you could use these tools. Adobe Captivate also is another tool which you can use and design your content, add in interactivity. So Storyline is very well versed when it comes to scenario-based learning. So those who are watching from different platforms, say hi. Do let me know in the chat from where you are watching my broadcast. And if you have any questions regarding technology enhanced learning, feel free to ask. So I just changed the title of my broadcast from Assalamualaikum to Technology Enhanced Learning. Just searching actually my YouTube channel. Okay, thanks for dropping by to my broadcast. And I'm sharing my YouTube channel. So last time in the studio, it actually fetches website as a thumbnail, So whenever you post in the chat, but it seems they have modified the Happs studio. So in the chat, when you share links, it is just sharing the link. Hopefully you're able to click these links. So the first one is my blog post where I have talked about scenario-based learning and how we could engage uh, and chunk our content. So when it comes to storytelling and storytellings and coming up with the scenarios, yeah. So uh, these tools will be very helpful, and they can come up with different scenarios. And in e-learning on online content design, we use articulate storyline, right? So it's like non-linear way of presenting the content and let learner pick their own path, their own way. So if they make mistakes, and you could embed assessment inside, yeah. So if they made mistakes, then you could actually give them different path and different content to pick up the skills of learning, and context to the learning content with which suits the learner. So that's the important things which we look at it whenever it comes to scenario-based learning. Okay. Yes, I have shared the link there. You could check that. Feel free to come in the chat, say hi, and let me know from where you're watching my broadcast. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, originally from Pakistan. So I will be talking more on technology enhanced learning, online learning, or open and distance learning, e learning. So, tools we use for uh, enhancing the online learning experiences. Let me confirm how is my voice going on. Test, test. Yes, so voice is perfect. That's very nice, cool. So just to tell you all, I'm using Happs platform and currently multicasting to 4 different platforms. Yeah, so just now I shared in the chat 2 links. The first one is my blog post where I have touched a bit on scenario based learning and using articulate storyline. And the second one is actually my YouTube channel. So you could always go to my profile and you could have access to my channels. Feel free to subscribe and like and share the content I am sharing on Happs and on my YouTube channel, right? And another link I'm sharing uh, where I have actually talked same on scenario based learning and how we could get simulation and gamification included in. So feel free to use chat. Yeah, so let me use takeover is a feature which you could actually push content on the full screen. So let me push to program, and this is the title which I have given: scenario-based learning in simulation and gamification. So I use the same concept as scenario-based learning, and how we could implement on simulated environment for teaching medical education. Yeah. So let me copy the link of the recording I did. You can all. That's very nice. I could see 10 people watching currently. Feel free to come in the chat, say hi, and let me know from where you're watching. And hopefully this link is workable. Let me check. So I'm sharing few links, it seems. Yes, it redirects to. Yeah, so this talk I have given at Maastricht University in Netherlands. Yeah, so you could always actually access this link. Yeah, so what I can do, I can share screen and present. Okay, share audio. So let me change the layout picture. It says internet connection is not stable. It's on my side because I'm somehow using Wi-Fi connection. Let me switch. Okay. Yeah, and let me play. What I was sharing with you is this one. Yeah, so let me try play this and see. It's initializing, right? It's it's taking some time to load. It's taking some time. Yeah, so those who just join in, uh, feel free to put message in the chat, say hi, and do let me know from where you're watching my broadcast. And those who will be watching the recording of my broadcast also, feel free to comment, and thanks for dropping by. Somehow it takes longer than usual. It should not take that long. Let me check again. Yeah, so you could see it says initializing. Last time I used to I watched that recording of my talk. It should not take that long. Okay, it says waiting and opening. So we'll wait. No worries. So those who just join in, and if you have any question regarding technology enhanced learning, feel free to post in the chat. Introduction and giving me opportunity to share scenario-based learning and how we could use scenario-based learning concept in our simulations and gamification. Sound is clear, right? And everybody can see my slides, just to confirm, right? Okay. So maybe you could recognize some of the logos of different platforms. Anyone can type in the chat if you could recognize. If you don't recognize anything, then you are at right place. I will be covering that in detail. So on top right is Second Life. Then we have process. Then I will be focusing on our in-house development of virtual medical clinics and why we need all this scenario-based learning and to engage our learners. And we could even use augmented reality also. How many of you could recall this Angry Birds, right? Yeah. So we spend hours in playing these, Angry Birds, right? Because the way they design it and the challenge was we can actually do it, and excitement and curiosity level is there to go for next level, right? And gamification market is going to be more than 30 billion by 2025. I think due to COVID, we may achieve these targets even earlier because most of our children and learners or even ourselves are most of the time at home and we used to play games, right? Now, I would like to share Vygotsky uh, theory of zone of proximal. So what he said, um, there are certain challenges which we could overcome without any help, and certain challenges we could overcome with minimum help, and certain beyond our capability or skills or competencies, right? So what we need to do when we are going to design, okay, so this is showing the recording actually. Anyway, so it's highlighting here zone of proximal development where we could manage level of challenge and level of competence. So we no need to make challenge so difficult that learner get, you know, difficult to do it and it reaches to anxiety level. And we no need to make it so easy that learner feel boring. So we need to strike a balance whenever we are going to design gamification. Okay. Now, what is scenario based learning, right? Obviously, there must be more than one path to reach to your goal. Okay, and it's not non-linear, and contextualize is very important. So if you are coming up with the scenario or story, it need to be contextualized, like maybe clinicians, maybe dental, or whatever your target audience is. Be specific to that, and you need to come up with the role specific, okay, scenarios. Story is very important. So if you are having a strong story, learner will enjoy it. So if you go back and recall Angry Birds, story was very simple, drag and drop Angry Birds to a structure, right? So the key elements is your challenges. So once you are going to give challenge, you need to come up with choices. Let the learner pick the choices. Once they pick the particular choice, that will lead to consequences. Okay. So each and every choice may lead to different consequences. And again, story is very important and we need to balance the scenario. And without feedback, learning won't be take place. It's just experience. So feedback is also very important. Now, here I'm going to just show you a very simple. On left side, you have a challenge. You may have 3, 4 different choices. Always provide more than one path for learners to choose. And every choice a learner made will link to a consequences. And once you get these consequences, you may link back again to different challenge. If you look at in this diagram, where we have like branch scenarios. Challenge one, choice one will lead to challenge two. If someone picks up challenge choice two, consequence is different, another challenge. Okay, so that's how I'm going to explain here, trying to explain multiple paths to reach based on learner selection. Okay, very simple, right? Now again, here also we need to make sure we will in our own virtual medical clinic we use Storyline. Okay, Articulate Storyline is the software. So where we need to balance, let flow in the context or in the scenario. Don't get it frustrated or bored. Okay. Now here storyboard is very important. This I'm just sharing a very simple storyboard where a situation or scenario is patient come into dentist clinic with severe pain. That's a very simple scenario. You could add in even more context. Got accident, got some come up with the strong story for learners to get some clues what they are going to come up in the scenario. So challenge is how to tackle pain. What is the first thing you as dentist should do, right? Then you could provide 3 or 4 choices for learners to be made. Once they pick any choice, it will lead to different consequences, and then a particular consequences will lead to next challenge. Okay, so that's how the basics of simple scenario-based learning is. Okay, and here I'm sharing a virtual medical clinic which we have developed after several years of experiment working with clinicians. So this is the exact shot, and if you scan this QR code, you should be able to access our only one case which we make it public. It's under emergency clinic, and you notice here on the left side we have scenario already there. We show a history there. A footballer player is brought to emergency room and all that in detail. Once you click start, you will lead to next right top where we could do the history taking steps. We could even hide this dialogue. Sorry for this marker because we have recorded, so it's showing a different, yeah. So here, this is what dialogue is coming up, where a clinician could ask from patients some questions, or we could hide even this dialog box and convert all these statements into voice. And we can move in. If you underneath, you could say verify fits and others. We have categorized all this patient history. And the next screenshot shows actually hotspots on the patient. And it could actually, if once you click on any hotspot, you will get more data about the patients, like biostatistics and all this stuff, blood pressure and few other things we can give that. And once you will go through this scenario, we have incorporated real patient, real we have get the consent and we hide the identity of the patient, and that's how learners can go in, and assessment is embedded inside it. And what we have done, we have converted this into a SCORM object and parked on learning management system. So everything is tracked by a learning management system, and it is shown in a dashboard, like how many attempts a learner will take to complete one scenario. And at the end of this case or scenario, you will get stars as ranking. So 3 stars will be the maximum satisfaction level, and you get less stars, then you could repeat back after reviewing the assessment and where we went wrong, and you could repeat that case. Yeah, so another app, which is what the app which actually we get influence, and we converted this app into our own virtual medical clinic. So the name is called Prognosis app, and it got hundreds of cases, right? So you can scan the QR code and you could access, these cases. And lately, just before yesterday, I was actually checking, and there is an update version of it. They have added a lot of UK-based cases, and they have even added a dashboard also, right? So let me show you. Yeah, so this is the dashboard.
this is how specialties, based on specialties, you could access the cases. And this is your main screen of the app where you can even they rename it play cases. Last time they were saying view cases. And in your progress, you could have this is what we have different cases here. Okay. Yeah, you can play case. And once you click progress, that's how it shows. So the latest version, I haven't tried any case. That's why it shows 0% for all. So under every specialty, you could see in the dashboard, on the dashboard, what is your progress. So that's how dashboards are also very important, how we could aggregate the data once learner play any case. Right. This is another app which is more focused on clinical based cases. Okay. It's called Clinical Odyssey. And I have tried this app also on my smartphone and quite engaging, and they have used like a lot of feedback. So this is another example. Once you click start one of the case, and there's a lot of text to be read. So when I mean dig back, why more text? So they said that's how in real case in hospital you have actually patient files to go through it. So that's why they put a lot of text there. You have to actually evaluate all that, and they do have a lot of feedbacks. So that's why if you look at the title of this slide, that's a screenshot of the app called Learning Topic. So the moment you select any option choice, it will give you uh, feedback on that, like why you have picked that and what is the consequence of that selection. Yeah, this is another detailed history. Yeah, so then they ask you a question, what treatment do you advise based on the history taking just now, right? The moment you will pick, sorry, the moment you pick any option, so it will lead to a different scene. So, and then it gives you a feedback based on the option learner will select. And at the end, it gives you score. So if you score your assessment, you have actually successfully picked correct answers, it will give you 3 stars. And the moment you are not satisfied with the score, you could play again the game or the case. And by clicking view analysis, it gives you where you went wrong. So in this app, you could change the setting not to give you instant feedback and without any feedback. And at the end, it will give you feedback where you went wrong, like the way now I'm showing you. In our VMC case also, we did the same. We don't want to disturb. We want let learner try first. At the end, we will be giving them, feedback, and they could go and review back, right? So this is what's score screen. Another app I would like to share is called BMC. I'm not sure it's free because our institution, we subscribe to BMC Journal. Quite nice app, got a lot of clinical cases, and we could even aggregate the data captured. And this is how it looks like. So once you log in, you could search the condition. Based on condition, they will give you several cases, and you could actually go and view the history. And quite nicely, they have covered like overview of the case, theory, diagnosis, management, follow-up. And the cool thing here in this app is references. So they have linked back to BMC journals, articles and references, and even they got videos and images. So you could actually let learner play and experiment with these cases. Okay. The last thing which I would like to share is virtual integrated patient dwell by National University of Singapore. What different feature I observed in this app, they use natural language processing and artificial intelligence in a chat bot. So the moment you go to a particular scenario or a case, the chat bot will be acting as a patient. And if you notice in the screenshot here, the chatbot will be replying to your questions, and you feel like you are interacting with a patient. Okay. And then the rest of the things are similar as I showed in other apps. Okay. Yeah. So I notice I have a time. So what I can do, I can share with you our VMC case, which we have developed. Let me just give me a minute, and I can drag that here. Just to confirm, can anyone confirm what you're seeing now?
I'm seeing the IMU virtual e-learning space.
Thanks. Thanks. That's great. So let me show you one of the case under virtual medical clinic. And if I go to emergency, so these are the different clinics, and under different clinics, we have different cases. And it's all SCORM package. So the moment I join in, this is a head injury case. So I think I should say start new attempt. So this is how we develop history, examination, management, and finish. So this is what I was showing you just now. So once you read all this, and I may ask you to answer the questions, because then it will make it more exciting. So this is the dialogue between actually doctor and a patient. Question, giving instant feedback whether the procedure, particular case, and all these digital badges could be next to the student profile. Okay, so something similar like in prognosis, what they have come up with the dashboard, right? So let me bring back my slides and summarize what. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah. So in a summary, what we are facing a challenge now, the long cases, there were less students attempts. So what we are coming up to make it shorter version of like micro learning and enhance our dashboards to link it to competency frameworks. The other thing which we are working on to come up with stackable scenarios and combine, one skills we can break down into 3, 4 scenarios, and then we could combine it back. The other thing which I would suggest to all of you to explore is called Second Life. It's a virtual world where you could create a scenario and let learner go in and experiment there. And the last thing which I will remind again, your story must be very nice and strong to engage our learner. Or in other words, the scenario. So what we are doing here, we are working with actual clinicians. They are sharing the real cases with us. We will be sharing with them as a PowerPoint template because they are very good in designing on PowerPoint. Once we'll get that template, we will be using Articulate Storyline or Adobe Captivate to convert it into an interactive just now I shared with you all. Okay, that's all.
Same goes
Yeah.
with our. Okay, so let me.
Sorry, this is the recording I did just now. Okay, so I can take questions now. Yes.
Okay, so let me stop sharing, and I could see Zaim. Thanks for joining. You want to join my broadcast? Sure, I can send you invite. Just hold on. Just give me a few seconds. So just now what I did, I was sharing a recording of my lecture or talk which I have given on scenario-based learning. Just hold on. Let me refresh the page and then I can invite Zaim. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so let me invite Zaim. Zaim. Okay, Zaim, if you are there, I have sent you the invite. You can please join in. Click go live, and you could see technology enhanced learning title and join my broadcast. Zaim is my nephew from Lahore. So let's see. Yes, Zaim, I'm waiting for you. If you're around, please join in. And for others, thanks for listening to my broadcast. I just now shared with you the recording of my talk on scenario based learning. Yeah, so I could see Zaim there. Zaim, you want to on your camera or you on without camera? Can you speak something? You are live now. Thanks for the appreciation award. Has Naznur, yeah. Okay, I really appreciate. And this is how the way everybody should actually support the broadcasters. Yes, Zaim, I could hear something, some click sounds from your side. Try to fix your mic and say something. You're live. Okay, no worries. You can take few minutes. So what I was explaining just now, I was sharing with you all the recording of my talk on scenario-based learning and how we could use these authoring tools to design content interactive and engaging. So providing a virtual simulated environment for medical students to practice. And just now I shared a case also, so which we have developed. We call that as virtual medical clinic. Yes, same. We can hear the click sounds from your side. Can you say something? Let's see. Whole world is listening to you, Zaim. Come on. Okay, you are on PC. Okay, great sharing. Thanks. I am happy, and those who will be watching the recording of these sessions, feel free to put your comments, your questions, and I will actually be addressing that. So this broadcast is going live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and of course on Happs platform. And thanks for dropping by. I could see 31 people have actually are live, maybe watching on Happs platform, and there will be few people from YouTube and from other. Yeah. Yes, Saeem, I could see you join now from a different device, right? There is some echo sound, so let me mute that. We could not hear you, Zaim. There is a noise, background noise. No worries. You need to fix your cable or mic. Okay, try now. Okay, so I was telling, let Zaim fix the technicalities of sound from his side. So those who will be watching recording of my sessions, feel free to share your comments and ask questions, and do let me know if you have any topic you want me to cover. My focus is more on technology enhanced learning tools, and today I shared actually a scenario based learning, my post which I did several years ago on my blog. If you scroll back the chat, and you could see the link I have shared. So in that blog, I covered in detail scenario based learning and how we could engage different paths, sharing different paths with learners. And then I have shared the recording of my talk on. I have given this talk at Maastricht University in Netherlands to medical educationists, and there was a research group. Their focus is more on simulations or creating a simulated environment for. Hello, Randy Wharton. What's a stranger? Okay, welcome. I think you're on Twitch, Randy, right? Nice to see you after so long. Yeah, I was away for a few months from live streaming, so I'm back now. So we'll catch up. Yeah, so yeah, I'm feeling well. Thanks for your concern. So do follow Randy. Those who are watching from Twitch side, and he do have actually profile on I think every social media platform. He's a very active streamer. Okay. Yeah, so feel free to ask your questions regarding scenario based learning and how we design the virtual simulated environment. And I shared even Second Life, where you could actually create assessments or assignments for learners to go into that virtual world, perform the task, and remotely you could watch them, you could see them, you could rate them, give them feedback. So this is highly rated content nowadays, because most of the institutions, they are closed now due to COVID or lockdowns, and it's not that easy access for patients, for learners to practice in a real scenario. So this simulated environment or simulated world could actually guide us a lot and assist our learners to mimic the real world. Yeah. So we are experimenting even on augmented reality or virtual reality, or we call that as mixed reality, but still under development and research phase. So I am just waiting for Zaim. If Zaim, you have some issues, no worries. So you can join in my next broadcast. I can invite anybody who wants to join, and then we can discuss. So I'll be closing my Imagine learning world similar to the. Oh yes, yeah. I do play PUBG also. Like, yeah. So something similar where in medical education, we do have simulated patients. So you go experiment there, even take the blood pressure to follow exactly the same steps, and each and every step you take, it is recorded, and if you perform well, they give you actually marks and give you stars and give you feedback. Yeah, but PUBG and game design is actually very very professional, because most of the institutions, they may not have that level of resources, because they might have team of graphic designers or visualizers, digital visualizer, I would say, like they visualize and they sketch each and every object, and you see, like, you can rotate the human character in PUBG I'm referring to, and even different arms you use, they have different functions. Like if you have a lens on top or zoom, so you could actually perform different features with all these objects. So I rate PUBG as a top class simulated environment, and I think it's a huge team who is working behind graphic designers, programmers, and game designers. So yeah. So Zaim is also another fan of PUBG. So Randy was saying about PUBG. Yeah. So yeah, we can play. Sure. No worries. So I will be ending my broadcast. Thanks for dropping by, and thanks Randy for coming from the Twitch side. Yeah, we are partners there. Yes. Okay. So stay safe, everybody, wherever you are. Thanks. Oh, Randy's back in Happs. Thanks for the award. I really appreciate. Wow. Yes, high five. Yes. So this is the way how you actually reward and support all the broadcasters. So everybody, please follow Randy channel. He's very active. He's the one who brought me to Happs platform. Yeah. Okay. So thanks everybody. I will be ending my broadcast and see you in my next broadcast. Feel free to watch the recording of my broadcast, and if you have any question, any comment, just post in the comment section or chat session. And bye. Take care.